In the quiet town of Ayatoro, where the evenings smelled of wood smoke and ripe mangoes, two sisters grew up under the same roof yet carried very different hearts. Amara was the elder, calm and thoughtful, with a kindness that seemed to soften every room she entered. Her laughter was gentle, her words carefully chosen. Kemi, the younger by 4 years, was fire. She was bold, restless, and driven by a hunger to be seen, to be chosen, to never live in anyone's shadow. Their mother used to say, half joking, that Amara had inherited the patience of the earth, while Kemi had taken the heat of the sun. As children, they were inseparable. Amara would braid Kemi's hair before school, and Kemi would defend Amara fiercely against playground bullies. But as they grew older, the world began to treat them differently, and the differences between them deepened. Amara was admired quietly. People trusted her. Mothers pointed her out as a girl worth emulating. Kemi, on the other hand, was noticed loudly. Heads turned when she walked by. Compliments followed her like echoes. Yet beneath all that attention was a gnawing insecurity she never voiced. She was admired, yes, but she wanted more than admiration. She wanted devotion. That was when Daniel entered their lives. Daniel arrived in Ayatoro as a schoolteacher, newly posted from the city. He was not the most handsome man in town, but there was something steady about him, something honest. His eyes carried warmth, and his voice had a way of making people feel heard. The first time he met Amara was at the small community library where she volunteered on weekends. He had asked for help finding a book, and by the time they finished talking, something quiet but powerful had settled between them. Daniel was drawn to Amara's calm strength. She listened without interrupting. She spoke without trying to impress. With her, he felt at home. Their friendship grew naturally, like a river finding its path, and before long, love followed. It was not dramatic or loud. It was patient, respectful, and deep. Kemi noticed the change in Amara long before anyone else did. She saw the way her sister smiled to herself, the way she hummed while cooking, the way she dressed with a little more care. When she finally met Daniel, something inside her twisted sharply. He was kind, he was attentive, and worst of all, he looked at Amara as if she were the only person in the world. At first, Kemi told herself it was nothing. Men came and went. But as weeks passed, and Daniel became a regular presence in their home, her feelings hardened into something darker. She tried to draw Daniel's attention, laughing louder, dressing more boldly, finding excuses to be alone with him. But Daniel remained polite and distant. His heart, clearly, had already chosen. Rejection did not cool Kemi's feelings. It inflamed them. She began to compare herself constantly to Amara. Why her? Why was the quiet one always chosen? Why did goodness seem to fall so easily into her sister's hands? These questions circled endlessly in her mind, feeding resentment. Love, for Kemi, turned into obsession. Amara sensed the shift in her sister. She noticed the sharp remarks, the cold silences, the way Kemi's eyes followed her and Daniel with a look she did not recognize. She tried to talk to her, to reassure her, to remind her that no man was worth tearing family apart. But Kemi only smiled thinly and said everything was fine. Nothing was fine. When Daniel finally approached their parents to declare his intention to marry Amara, the house filled with celebration. Neighbors came with congratulations. Plans were discussed. Amara glowed with quiet happiness. Kemi watched it all as if from behind a wall of glass, her heart pounding with a mix of rage and despair. That night, something in her broke. Kemi convinced herself that Amara had stolen her destiny. She told herself that if Amara were gone, everything would fall into place. The thought terrified her at first, but soon it began to feel inevitable. Love had twisted into something monstrous. On a rainy evening, Kemi asked Amara to walk with her to an old footpath near the edge of town, a place they used to visit as children. Amara agreed, unaware of the storm brewing beside her. They talked softly at first, about memories, about how fast life had changed. Then Kemi's voice trembled. Why is it always you? She asked suddenly. Amara stopped walking. She turned, confused, concern filling her eyes. Kemi, what are you talking about? The words poured out then. Accusations, jealousy, years of bottled resentment. Amara tried to reach her, tried to hold her, tears streaming down her face as she spoke of love, of family, of forgiveness. But Kemi was too far gone. In a moment that would haunt the town forever, Kemi acted on the darkness she had nurtured. When it was over, the rain washed the ground clean, but it could not wash away what had been done. Amara's life ended there, not at the hands of an enemy, but by the sister who once shared her bed and secrets. The truth came out quickly. Kemi did not run far. Guilt crashed over her with brutal force once the madness faded. She was arrested, her once bright future collapsing into a cold cell and a lifetime of regret. Daniel was shattered. He withdrew from the town, carrying grief that words could not touch. Aye Toro mourned not just the loss of Amara, but the destruction of a family, the reminder of how jealousy can rot the soul. Years later, people still spoke of the sisters in hushed tones. They told the story as a warning that love without restraint can become poison, and that envy, left unchecked, can turn the heart against its own blood. And somewhere behind prison walls, Kemi lived with the echo of her sister's voice, learning too late that no love is worth the price of a human life.